What are your wildest, maybe improbable, predictions for May 2020? Being happy. You and me both LMAO. Coronavirus will get in control. Hey kind stranger, thanks for the award. No, you are meant to edit your comment. This is blatantly against the rules of Reddit. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger, and thanks for the idea, random person. COVID-20. Trump is actually going to shit himself in public at some point. It's the only thing he hasn't done to embarrass himself in his party yet. The drooling dementia boomers will love him even more. He hates the blacks, the gays, and he craps himself just like me. MAGA 2020. It really depends. Cthulhu health bar in the sky. Boris Johnson will dump his girlfriend for going into labor. That everyone in this thread will get gold. That this UFO footage released a few days ago actually depicts an alien explorer ship that will call the main fleet to Earth to take over the planet. I, for one, welcome our alien overlords. Couldn't be any worse than Trump. Hillary will run for president. No. Random chimp event. Scientists conclusively prove that while there is no God, there's a hell and everyone goes there. Monsieur. Betty White contracts COVID-19 and recovers within 24 hours. We use her antibodies to make a vaccine. Aliens will finally reveal themselves after Pentagon releases and authenticated the footage of them chasing their fleet, which happened this week on CNN and all major news outlets. Ghost cruise ship will pirate the seas since no port will take the middle-aged couples in. Grandparents will grab up arms and travel port-to-port raiding for resources. Trump demanding Mexico to pay rent for New Mexico. Edit. Thanks to the New Mexican who golded my suggestion. It's like printing your own money. Hillary will be Biden's VP. Please God no. The dragons return. I'm in New Zealand and we're hoping to have eradicated COVID-19. Only 2 new cases today. And a few hundred active. P.S. Sending love to all those in America and other parts of the world struggling right now. Earth goes boom, Monsieur Mars also goes boom, but we don't know that since it happens a bit later. Kim Jong-un turns out to have been in hiding due to a zombie outbreak in North Korea. He's undead! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Trump, Pence versus Biden, Clinton, and can't wait for the shit show. Avengers 5 will be released on YouTube. I mean, it's mostly CGI so totally doable. May 15th, no more coronavirus in Israel. May 16th, the 52th Arab-Israeli war has began. 52nd, aliens visiting us for the first time and going extinct because they copy us by drinking bleach. Restrictions get relaxed and a second wave of coronavirus strikes countries. Veterinary nurses are drafted in to support medical nurses as hospital workers are struck down in the second wave. Toilet roll becomes a currency once again and as the pollen count climbs. Asthmatic hay fever sufferers become victimized as plague carriers. Donald Trump tweets on his deathbed that he leaves the presidency, best presidency, wonderful perfect presidency, in Pence's hands. But none of his advisors have told him Pence is also infected and is in worse shape than Trump. In Britain, there are riots over the lack of tea bags and milk as Boris Johnson begs people to listen to restrictions that have been reinstated. Nobody does. The end times are upon the British. China gets nuked by Russia. Godzilla, nuclear winter. The Last of Us 2 is going to be hated by a lot more people than 1 was. Kids won't be back in school this fall and at least one state will enact martial law on its citizens. Getting laid. Can you fuck 6 feet apart? No? Well, I guess you're fucked, unless you can. 6 feet penis joke incoming. I guess you could use remote vibrators and dirty talk across the room, Monsieur. Ivan confirm this. Even with proper Wi-Fi it is unlikely. Old Zealand rises again. Kim Jong-un death will be confirmed dead for real. The world would go batshit crazy and maybe they won't have a dickhead in charge. Large-scale natural disaster. earthquake or volcanic eruption, something to continue to disrupt everything that's going on just a little bit more. A TV station launch that consists of only productions directed by and starring a self-quarantined Nicolas Cage. Trump drinks bleach to prove a point. Oh, please make that happen. Trump does something stupid. Turn on the news, I'm sure you'll find something. Rage comics have a comeback. Putin quit his job so he will have more time to ride bears to do manly stuff. We've been dreaming of putting humans on Mars for as long as we've known the red planet existed. However, it's only recently that the venture has started to feel even remotely realistic. And yet, in 1997, Wired magazine's Peter Schwartz and Peter Lydon picked the year 2020 as the time when humans arrive on Mars. They also had some specific ideas about how it would go down exactly. The 4 astronauts touch down and beam their images back to the 11 billion people sharing in the moment. The expedition is a joint effort supported by virtually all nations on the planet. The culmination of a decade and a half of intense focus on a common goal. Sounds nice, doesn't it? In the go-go 90s, we had every reason to believe the monsieur, but we're not so optimistic now that Mars tourism is in our immediate future. Even NASA projects that the earliest we could get a human on the surface of Mars is 2030. And that's only if we're really lucky. World War III. Everyone will start acting and showing they care about others. Peace will erupt and news will now be taken from our humans being bros. We get decent summer weather in the UK. Life in China, Italy, Spain and Turkey will get back to normal. It wasn't normal to start with though. Keith Richards dies. The release of the butthole version of Cats. Trump will die. Coronavirus will mutate, becoming much more fatal for younger people, leading to an extraordinary death rate, especially in those strange countries where somehow they believe it's just a hoax. Trump will then declare war on China. Not in May, of course, but later. But instead he will just bomb Iran back to the Stone Age. However, there will be no explanation ever why he attacked Iran while declaring war on China. He will just say that it was the best war ever and the army did a great job. Trump will become empathic and start telling the truth. No, he's still the funniest comedian ever. Don't know how he always manages to get on TV though. Even with his stupid allegations. A big-ass meteorite hits the Earth, nothing is a surprise anymore. Aliens will be unveiled. In a sudden flash of enlightenment, every single New Yorker protests to bring back their state's primary so that they can all vote in Bernie Sanders by a landslide. Shrek 5. That people will stay inside and stop this nasty virus from spreading. The Orange Man will actually let medical experts run his coronavirus briefings. I know June 1st is hurricane season, but I'm feeling a hurricane or tropical storm happening early. The world comes down and doesn't have another major catastrophe for a change. That this random person won't stop giving gold. I know, like, donate me a little of that. Aliens will venture over. China's evil government collapses due to the entire world crushing them with sanctions, boycotts, and embargoes. Jesus showing up riding a flying dinosaur handing tickets to heaven to everybody. Tries to, but most of us are inside and never notice him frantically waving at us. A second wave of corona that will force schools to close down again. Or schools don't open is currently planned. COVID-19 gone. Vaccine. I'd say something good, like a COVID vaccine. Pokemon becoming real. People being happy. Finding love. Biden and Trump both end up losing the election due to photos spreading of them checking in at a hotel together. Trump says it's fake news, but Biden admits when they both get an STD. They have to find a new president in less than 1 week and Bernie is the only candidate. He becomes president, but wait, new footage surfaced going to the hotel as well. And that grandson is how Elizabeth Warren becomes our first female president. My mom will stop barging in my room to ask if I'm awake for once now that I'm home from college. The worst of the year is behind us. The rest of the year will be a big sigh of relief as we try to settle back into our lives. My wildest predictions. COVID-19 mutates to both become more virulent and able to infect through quantum tunneling. Staying at home and avoiding contact with anyone no longer keeps you safe. 60% of the global population dies, including Trump, Pence, Pelosi, and Grassley. Mike Pompeo becomes President of the United States on Memorial Day and promptly initiates a nuclear war with China. Aliens contemplating first contact AE the blast from space and decide, instead, to tractor beam the moon's momentum away so that it will crash into Earth, destroying all life on the planet except possibly for cockroaches. The end. Lol. How did so many people get gold? I hope my workout equipment that I ordered for my birthday arrives sometime in May. Fucking gold train, baby. For being the first to acknowledge it, you will be the only one not blessed. I guide someone to the treasure I cannot possess. Be rude to award myself. I hope people can feel better if we get through the coronavirus peak, but I wonder if we'll see a resurgence in May from all the reopenings. The coronavirus is over. Things go back to normal. Eruptions of all active and sleeping volcanoes. Well, the Pentagon released some UFO pictures maybe that foreshadows something. Kim Jong-un rises from the dead and invades the entire world on his own. Trump takes over North Korea. Aliens will come to Earth. Why the hell are there so many gold awards here? Question mark, exclamation mark. Someone will actually love me. The moon from Majora's Mask. Kim Jong-un defeats COVID-19. Joe Rogan stops talking about DMT for the first time in recorded history. I will get another cat, or 2, or 3, etc. I think we can see the potential news of NK as unless Kim Jong-un releases a video or something it can be believable that he is dead. Either that or some sort of natural disaster. I'm putting money on an earthquake would occur. The arrival of the Day of Judgment. Kim Jong-un will turn out to be just fine. We'll uncover who's really responsible for what's happening and the whole world holds them responsible for it. There will be a nuclear disaster comparable to Chernobyl in the U.S. The U.S. Republican Party will announce that Trump will not be their presidential candidate for 2020. But Jeb Bush will. The U.S. public will get deliriously happy. Rush out and clap so hard that Jeb Bush will become a god and be able to magic away COVID-19. Corona will hopefully die, prob not though. Coronavirus cases in America will go up to 2 million. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.